kicking my ass at Sesame Street.
Count Dracula. This is Count Dracula. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to the PBBG Gamescast. My name is Steve.
Rich.
Mo.
We've been gone for a while. I've been waiting for that. I needed that in the last 2 weeks. It's been gone in my life. My little Mo chant.
We didn't hang out last week.
Mo.
Our business meeting at the bar
Business.
that ended up with all three of us crying in each other's shoulders.
Oh, we were crying.
Yes.
For once, I wasn't actually crying.
In a bro hug. That's how it ended at the bar. That's what happens with the passionate playing video gamers
drinking
at the bar. Not a lot. I don't even want to know what that tab was.
I don't remember what I was crying for. Probably because I couldn't drink anymore.
The news.
Oh, the news. That's right. Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Very exciting news in 2 years.
Yeah.
That's what you're crying about.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That too.
We are doing a live show on a boat in 2 years.
It's called Boats and Hoes.
The
And Gamescast.
Boats and Hose.
Yeah. The Boats and Hoes Gamescast.
All right, you're onto something.
Coming up with an episode right now.
But we are the passionate playing video gamers.
Yeah, we are. Exactly.
Yes, in today's episode, we are going to create our Nintendo 64 Classic Edition. Because it's not soon enough. Super NES got announced. We know they're making a Nintendo 64 version. What games do we want to add? We'll also talk about the Monster Hunter 23-minute gameplay video. So this will be Mo's orgasm for 23 minutes discussing Monster Hunter. But we will start with anime for video games. Castlevania was just released on Netflix. A season of 4 episodes. I'm not even sure if that even counts as a season for 4 episodes. You should have just called it a movie. Because each one is about 23 minutes. So it's 132 minutes. Take out credits for each one. A little over 2-hour season.
Wow.
But...
Wait, 23 minutes and that equates to 2 hours?
Somehow that worked out.
Yeah. Wait, 20, 40, 60, 80. Yeah, my math is spot on.
That's more Pepsi. I mean, cola drink.
Yeah. My math is spot on. Thank because we're to add some comments. As you fucking idiot, that's not 2 hours.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, get your numbers right.
I'm the living comment section.
As-
Noob, nerd, flag.
Black Flag. So with Castlevania anime just being released on Netflix, this week the executive producer of Castlevania announced that the Assassin's Creed TV show will be on Netflix and it will be animated as well. A few episodes ago, more than a few episodes, they announced Assassin's Creed will be in a TV show. Highly recommend watching the episode. Mo and Rich came up with the first 3 seasons of material of storyline with cliffhangers of season finales for each season. It was fantastic. But it's going anime. What is your guys' take? Do you think it will be successful anime? Things they can pull off that you can do in anime that you can't do in live action? Do you think it fits? And also, we'll start with that. With Assassin's Creed.
I don't see it as necessarily it being bad. I think if the exposure is there for people who don't watch anime, I mean...
Yeah, but they didn't watch the movie either.
Yeah,
so.
they didn't watch the movie. Yeah, true. So, I don't see it as being a bad thing.
As long as the story is done right.
Yeah.
It's not like you need that medium where you're going to save on special effects. You save on locations because you don't have to do set dressing or...
Yeah. Because it could be expensive, Assassin's Creed.
Could be.
It could vary.
Could be.
Yeah.
But a lot of the old world, a lot of that stuff still looks very similar, or they have sites that are similar, and if you did it in the right way, or you use CGI for the backgrounds kind of stuff, where he looks out for one of his eagle view kind of things, and you see the vista, and that was all CGI, but then you got a close-up shot of a set piece that they've actually built in the studio. They could convincingly do it, but there's a lot of running and jumping and stuff like that. So I can see why they would do it. It doesn't matter as long as the story's right, and that's the problem with the games and with the movie is that it has to make sense. You had to be knowledgeable about the games to understand the movie, from my understanding. And remember what a big fan I am. I didn't watch the movie either because I saw that it was hot garbage. So I'll eventually see it, but I wasn't one of those people that went for day one like I usually would.
Yeah, and they have to cast the correct voice actors too. That's like probably going to be the biggest hurdle. I would say.
Well, and they're gonna sign somebody to try to make it sound like we got a Hollywood star.
Right.
I don't want that. I just want it to be good. It doesn't matter.
No, right.
I don't need to have some celebrity so you can attach their name. No
That's
offense to Fassbender, it sounded like he was really interested in the material, but from everybody's reviews, it doesn't sound like any of that stuff ended up on screen. So putting him in there didn't do anything.
No, I'm saying more of like. The more known anime voice actors and so forth. Yeah. Don't try to go for like huge big names because if it's something that they have never done, then it can come out kind of wrong. That's all I'm saying is.
Well, do they tie in with the games? Do they do that same kind of conceit where it's a descendant relives things? And if you do that would be one of my things. If I was producing, is that I would have my Desmond, normal times kind of character be cast as one person, and then whoever his ancestor is, another voice actor, because they're in somebody else's body. I don't want to hear the same guy doing both characters.
No, that'd be pretty cool if they can get the voice actors for those original
I think
characters.
that's where they screwed up with Fassbender, is that you got him playing both of them. He should have been two different
people, yeah. Because there was a lot of confusion between that.
Well, like I said, a lot of that concept was left in the game, and if you didn't play the game, you didn't understand the story. So
the executive producer did state it will be an original story. With no release date, specific characters, or time period when it will be set, but it will be an original story.
Excited now.
It will be in anime and on Netflix. So Castlevania was just released, like I said prior, 4 episodes. I only watched the first episode, and Dracula was just really pissed off. Spoiler alert: Dracula's pissed.
That's because he sucks too much.
Dude, that was like a worse pun than I usually do. He sucks too much. Because he's a vampire.
Yeah, likes to suck.
He looks very sexy in the episode, though.
And
I'll give him credit. He looks extremely sexy in it. Looks like a badass. I'll probably finish this since it's only 4 episodes, which is 2 hours. 23-minute episodes is 2 hours with the Steve math. Fucking idiot. So that's almost an hour and a half, or a little over an hour and a half with the credits. So it's a fucking movie still, alright? My point still is valid.
It's not over an hour and a half if they're 23 minutes. It's short.
Maybe he's just pissed off because he's
20, 40, 60, 80.
An hour and a half would be 90 minutes if it's 23 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just really...
Then you're missing 7 off of... I'm not going to do math.
Why are you doing math right now?
No.
We already...
It's an hour and a half.
It's part of my job. I do math in my head.
It's an hour and a half. It's like 92 minutes.
It's close.
No, it's 92 minutes.
Well, then they're not 23 minutes. Okay, that was an average. My bad. I took you literally that they were 23 minutes.
They are 23.
I was just going to say...
46 times 2 is 92 minutes. An hour and a half.
Maybe that's why Dracula's pissed off, because you can't count.
Taking my ass to Sesame Street.
Count Dracula. Count Dracula. 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry.
No, I'm half asleep. I get your point now.
I'm going to watch me some Sesame Street this weekend so I can learn how to count. All of us, I think. We all need to
I gotta do it.
learn how to count. Do you guys have any plans? Are you interested in seeing Castlevania or Assassin's Creed in anime on Netflix?
I'll definitely check it out. I've watched a lot of the Netflix animes, like Knights of Sidonia. I thought that was really well done. I like the storyline. I like new concepts, and that anime was just badass from top to finish. But it was more than 4 episodes long. And they're already like going. I don't know if a 3rd season was announced for that, but yeah, I'm really into the Netflix animes. They're doing a great job. I like what they've done so far. I have to watch the Castlevania to see how this director is doing things, and if it's good, then I don't see him failing at Assassin's Creed.
In the first episode, there was like an F-bomb that was thrown in it. I'm like, nice. It's very mature.
No, he's the same guy that did Dread, and he's done some other stuff. So
Yeah.
he's the guy that, if you remember that mature version of Power Rangers that they did, it was like that viral video. That was him too.
Oh, okay.
So he's been doing a lot of stuff.
And Assassin's Creed, hopefully the season is longer than 4 episodes. Castlevania was renewed for season 2. They did say it's going to be more episodes, and Richie heard it's going to be 8.
Yeah,
so they're going to double 4, so it's going to be more than 2 hours. Like that. So season 2 will be longer
but
than
not
2
much
hours.
more than 3.
At 23. We'll see. Assassin's Creed, I think it will work. For the cost, because I think Assassin's Creed might be inexpensive. They have some ways to cut costs, if they do it, but for it to look right and not look cheapish.
Yeah.
Again, I think the story is the biggest thing.
I agree.
You have to explain that concept, and it's very hard to explain. And remember, when you take agency out of there, where you're not playing as the character, especially when the whole conceit is it's a person who's living the life of somebody else, so they're basically playing a game. So you're playing a game of a guy that's playing a game. It's kind of hard to convey that when you're not actually playing a game. So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard in that media to do if it's not done well. So they have to have an interesting story. They could drop that whole conceit and just tell a story of an assassin of whatever time frame, whether it's contemporary or it's a future storyline, a past storyline, but it has to make sense, it has to be good, it has to be entertaining.
So what video game properties do you think would be able to be successful in anime format? So we got Castlevania, we have Assassin's Creed. What do you think would be another successful video game property that would work well?
Metroid.
Yeah,
I think it could be done really well in anime style, especially with the whole alien object thing. That's already something that anime has already ventured into, and technology based. I can easily see that as being.
Which voice would you have?
Who
would you voice it?
I don't know who can voice that. I couldn't tell you. I'd have to go on prime choices.
Katie Sackhoff. She's got a girly voice, yet she still has like a powerful, strong, like you think she can kick your ass kind of voice.
Yeah, that can actually be really good. But yeah, Metroid comes to my mind. What else can I put in there? You could do. I mean, there's.
What about Destiny? Get more story that way.
No.
Fuck Destiny.
And you get in just before you download the first DLC patch. It says, "Please go watch the anime on Netflix. Subscription required."
Destiny 3. There you go. The whole story. Just go watch Netflix. Fuck the cards. We're not gonna put it in the game. And Rich, what do you think would be video game property successful in anime?
You could do anything. I mean,
Yeah,
you could flesh out stuff like some of the old fighting games that didn't really have a fleshed out story, or you could add stuff that was kind of goofy with some of the live action,
like Final Fight, or what type?
Well, everybody loves the Street Fighter anime compared to the live action Street Fighter, so that would be a good example.
With Van Damme and
Street Fighter animes were really good. So was when they started doing the crossovers, King of Fighters and all that stuff. Those were all really done really well. So
you don't. But that's the thing. That's if you're adhering to the source material or you're trying to build on it. I brought up in a previous episode Captain N. That's one of those where
we need to watch that. We need to have a slumber party and watch
that. Wasn't Simon Belmont from Castlevania. That wasn't really Kid Icarus. That wasn't Mega Man. But in that context, the way that they were used, it was an entertaining show. It was more for younger people than it would be for people our age, where an anime is usually geared at least teenagers and above. But still, it was one of those, it's just a fun time. And that wasn't using them the way that you would expect them to. I wouldn't have expected... I told you the whole thing. Mega Man the whole time. It's Mega everything. Mega, Mega. That's how he talks to everybody. Mega high. Oh, I got my Mega laser. Everything is... He puts Mega on the front of every word he says almost. That's not the Mega Man we know. But who cared? It was fun in the context of that. You can do that with anything.
Yeah. It's... Anime, it's such a vast world with anime. Like... So many animes out there that can portray each one of those, just about any single game out there. So
I would want Titanfall 2. Not Titanfall 2, but Titanfall series. I would love to see that in anime. I think they'd be able to have some fun, add more story to it about that conflict that's happening. But I think that would be exciting to watch.
you need to start watching Gundam then.
No, okay. What about that? What about like Halo, but from the Covenant's side of the conflict? Because they're religious. They believe that they're standing up for what they think is their destiny. They believe that they are the righteous chosen people. They're a group of different races that were basically either conquered or joined in with the main group, and then they expanded out, and then they decided to take on humanity. I think that could be an interesting thing because we never see it from their side until you get to like the Arbiter, but the Arbiter is still made an exile. So that's why we got that view. What if you're in the middle of that and you see like, what was he referred to? The demon. How they called Chief the demon. Imagine hearing the troops that they're not in conflict with Chief, but word spreads of the demon. And what if we see one of these demons show up and he starts cutting a swath through the whole army? I think that'd be an interesting story.
Have they tried to do anime Halo? I know live action, but have they tried?
They did some stuff when they launched that Halo channel. I would, I wouldn't say anime Halo directly, channel. But yeah, remember on Xbox 360?
Yeah.
So they did some stuff there, but it wasn't too in depth, and of course it was from the USNC's side of the conflict.
Yeah, no, that would be great to see that their point of view and their side, with that conflict. Master Chief fucking everyone up.
It's a way to play with the story, tell it in a different way.
Which is what Star Wars Battlefront is doing. They're telling their story on the Empire side.
Yeah.
So we can get their perspective of their
Emperor
being taken out.
That whole Inferno Squad kind of thing, that was guerrilla warfare. Basically, the Death Star is the World Trade Center during 9/11. Like, what are these people doing? And all of a sudden, they blow up your symbol of freedom, and you're like, oh shit, it's on now. That's it. That could be an interesting story. Especially imagine if, God forbid, the leader of the country had been in the World Trade Center during that. That's what happened with the Emperor and Darth Vader, right? Yeah. Two of the main leaders of their faction.
It's going to be a great 2-hour single-player campaign. They're going to jam 30 hours into it. It's going to be fantastic. They haven't announced how long the single-player campaign is yet.
I think every first-person shooter should be between 8 to 15 hours.
15? It's a long time.
Yeah, but between 8 and 15. I'd say it has to be 8 15.
Yeah. My numbers are so off. I don't even want.
Well, of course you can't count.
Yeah, I can't. Well, I need Count Dracula to help me out.
You need to start sucking. I don't know where I'm going.
So that is our take on the animated series of the announcement for Assassin's Creed. Please let us know in the comments below how you think the series will do in anime, and which video games would you want to see in anime format.
None.
1, 2.
So last week, Monster Hunter World got a 23-minute gameplay video. This is most excited, anticipated game from E3 was Monster Hunter World. And it is available on PS4 and Xbox One in early 2018. And Mo, are you getting an Xbox One X to play Monster Hunter World?
No. I'm sorry. I repeat, no.
But play it in 4K, though.
I don't give a fuck.
Play it in 4K.
But I have PlayStation 4.
The best version.
I don't care about that. In that game, it's gameplay for me.
But the best version. All third-party best versions are going to be on Xbox One X.
I'm not spending $500 to play a $60 game.
And 99% of gamers aren't either. So yeah, we're with you. That is correct. Monster Hunter World, Mo, what was your take for the gameplay video? I know you're very excited. This is my first time ever watching anything Monster Hunter. I want to get your impressions first.
So I enjoyed that they showed how the world is in Monster Hunter. It's a little bit more open world this time around, as where the sections are. Back in the previous Monster Hunters, basically you had to start in a camp, and then if you picked up a quest where it had to get you to a certain particular area, then it would just be between that camp and that particular area. You didn't have that's why they're calling it world, because it's kind of like open world a little bit. And I thought that was pretty awesome. The one thing that I have to applaud in that 23 minute trailer was that they showed that I can't even count now.
Minutes.
Yeah, I can't even count now.
Everything's 23 minutes now.
Somehow at the end, Mo had lost 2 hours.
Yeah. It was a 2-hour demo. 2-hour gameplay demo of Monster Hunter. That was only 23 minutes long. There's 2 hours somewhere, somehow.
They showed how if you're hunting a particular monster, that everything actually has can kind of cut you off in the tracks. Because the one thing that I remember in the first Monster Hunter, and the very first one in PlayStation 2, was that there was this particular dragon that you had to fight, and I forgot its name. And it was one of the hardest bosses to fight in the first area. But you had to be like a super... You had to have your level and your armor already set. So when you started that fight, this dragon can land just about anywhere on the map, right? So sometimes the fight wouldn't always go the same way. Sometimes he would go to a particular swamp area and then make it towards up this hill. Well, up this hill, there's a shit ton of velociraptors. And these velociraptors, they focus on both you and the dragon. And they fight both of you like as a pack. So these things can happen where they're unexpected. You don't know until you start getting in there and start researching.
That's what happens in the gameplay, where the monster is attacked by other monsters.
That big iguana thing that swallows the other dinosaur full. Like, that type of stuff.
And the dragon at the end.
Yeah, the dragon at the end. So that stuff is all unexpected. That stuff can happen at any point in time. It can happen and it can't happen. It's very, it's random. It's something that you will never know until you actually get in there and start doing the quest and the hunting. So that's one of the mechanics that I really enjoy out of Monster Hunter. It's always been like that. There's always something that can deter you away from that monster and kind of, feel like you're getting kind of sidetracked, but you got to keep focused, basically. And then that Velociraptor fight was intense because you're fighting all these fucking Velociraptors plus the dragon, and then the dragon is fighting you and the Velociraptors. It's pretty intense, but I like what they showed. I know there's a few, fine tuning that they have to do, but
because they said it was in-game footage in early 2018.
Early, yeah.
What changes? Actually, no. First of all, so the gameplay demo is one hunt. So it starts off you hunting one of the monsters, and it's the full fight. It's about a 15, 16-minute fight.
Yeah.
Shows like the first 3 quarters, then you go back to your camp and then fight it again. The one thing I did love about it was, and this is my first time ever experiencing anything or watching anything Monster Hunter.
Uh-huh.
I just know Mo has loved the series. He was very excited.
Yeah.
Coming out on PS4 and Xbox One.
And PC later on in the year.
PC later on in the year. Just to get an idea what the hell...
Is it on the Switch?
I don't know. No, but WWE 2K18 is.
That wasn't an opening, but I knew you were
Third
gonna go
party.
there.
There we go. Announce. Third party support. We're getting it. For the Switch.
Yeah, all that meant was I'm not going to get it on any system. If it can run on the Switch, I don't want it on the Switch. And I didn't get 17 either.
But on the Switch, you can only do one-on-one and tag team. That's it. All the other features are... it can only handle one-on-one.
Is that what it said?
No, I'm joking.
Royal Rumble only has 4 guys in it.
Well, it's Super Nintendo. Yeah,
Iron Man match can only go 7 minutes. Not because there's a constraint, because the battery wears out.
Yeah, the battery tie. Yeah. Even a rumble. Yeah, it can only handle 7-minute rumbles. Come on now.
There's a taunt, but it's always drowned out by the person in the park watching you playing it on a Switch. Hey, you loser! Why you playing on a Switch? Anyways.
Back to Monster Hunter. What I did like, and you kind of answered it already, was how alive the world was.
Yeah.
Going through, like, that monster swallowed the entire... like dinosaur whole,
yeah,
and then went back and actually fed it to its young.
Yeah,
it spit it out.
Yeah,
some of the parts and fed it to its young. That I thought was actually really cool.
And those little creatures, they're fucking assholes. Like once they all start tag teaming you, it's just the worst fucking thing ever.
Okay, phrasing like 4 times over. What the fuck's with you guys?
Well, I thought I throw it in there since you guys were talking about 2K.
Take it back to their hole and they're fucking assholes and Jesus.
Did the other previous Monster Hunters have that weapon wheel? Not weapon, looked like a potion wheel off to the right.
Yes. Yeah. It was a little bit, it didn't look as complex as the one that I saw on there. But again, there's a lot of fine tuning they have to do, and that may change from here until 2018. But yeah, they did have a wheel like that. I wish they showcased a little bit more of the weapons, because there's a shit ton of different weapons that you can specialize in.
They showed 2 weapons, right? That big ass fucking sword and then the gun.
Yeah, the TriCaster or whatever they call it. I call it TriCaster because it looks like one. But
I don't know what that is.
from Horizon.
Oh, okay.
Tripcaster or whatever it's called. Yeah, that thing.
Speaking my language, okay.
Yeah.
I hear you now.
Yeah, but it's a big crossbow, and you can change like the different ammunitions and everything. I was never one for the huge bow guns. I didn't like them. I was the sword and shield guy, with a lot faster strikes and to cut stuff off, particularly off the monsters. But I wish they showed more of the weapons. It's cool that they started off with the big sword though.
Yeah, didn't they have like a big lance before too?
Yeah,
So
the
you could
lance
get 'em
and
from
the
distance,
big
but you didn't use
shield.
them.
Yeah, where you can kind of keep it in check.
But they used to have like 4-player co-op, didn't they?
Yeah.
On PS2 or something?
Yeah, it was always 4-player co-op.
How long have the games usually been? Are they longer games? Or is it just you hunt 15, or how's the past been?
They're pretty lengthy, and you have the secret boss monsters. So the thing is, when you played single player, you didn't get some of the other secretive like monsters that they throw in there. When you went online, they would starting back in PlayStation 2, they would actually update the PlayStation 2 version, and they would have events online where, okay, this is the top hunt of today. This is a secret only dragon that has not been seen. Go hunt this, and you're gonna get like special shinobi armor and stuff like that. So, because once you hunt them, you carve out the pieces like they did at the end of that trailer or that demo. That's where you start creating all these like crazy armors, and it just looks awesome. And weapons too. They can affect your weapons because you just start making new ones.
And it's very realistic. Those weapons were huge.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that you move slow. That was a concern of mine. You might be a little too slow for video game.
Like I said, it depends on the weapon. Because if you're using the dual wielding swords, you're fast as shit. Or like the shield and sword, you're fast. You're not as slow as the sword. So the hammer, another weapon that was, it had its speeds and its faults. Like you could be slow trying to swing, but once you do your power, much more damage. Exactly.
Which makes sense. That sword was as big as your entire body.
Yeah.
That you'd move slow. So
And your Fantasy?
Stamina.
No.
But
what about the graphics? Were you a little concerned about the graphics? They didn't look.
Not at all. Like
that
for
great.
for me, it was
in 4K?
Yeah, not even in 4K.
for me. Like in reality, Monster Hunter's always been about more gameplay and the fun aspect of hunting these huge ass dragons with your friends. That's where the replayability is. The fact that they update it constantly with new monsters, so you don't get tired of it. There's an update just about every week or event every other 2 weeks. That's what sells that.
What's
game.
an event?
So, like I was saying, they have the special monster that they focus in and they add on just for you and your friends to hunt. It takes sometimes a couple times to hunt it, and like I said, it changes. Where he'll like say this particular dragon starts out in a cave, he may come out of the cave and then start fighting you on land in the open air, and his whole tactics just completely change because he's no longer in the cave. You know, so those type of events where they start throwing in random like dragons that they just came up with for that week or 2 weeks or whatever for the month. Once you start carving out and you start putting in the work onto that monster, then you end up with like unique epic gear and also epic weapons, and that's the constant change. It's just constant changing, putting it in different areas. The way that the monster reacts to you, completely different.
Yeah, it ran off. You can cut its tail off.
Yeah,
and then you went back to your like your village or your place, like in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, to rest up.
To rest up.
Yeah.
Then you got the gun brought back. You can use the environments. I thought that was really cool. One of the environments, a cave, kind of opened up. In the world, you can actually. Have the part of the tree actually fall on top of the monster.
Yes, because you could set up traps preemptively, or you could do it as you're fighting.
Oh, move him into him?
Yeah.
I thought that was actually very cool. Is it just like going for hunts? Is there a story?
There is a story. It's never been like, it's not like a long crazy story.
It's not in depth. It's
not
role-playing.
It's all about the gameplay.
The last one that I played was about 20 hours long on the story. It was just about hunting the ultimate monster, and then
there's no character development though.
Yeah, because you make your own characters.
Yeah.
It's basically you customize
upgrades.
Yeah, there's no story. You're not saving a princess. You're not destroying some MacGuffin, world-destroying.
Saving the princess for the 100th time.
They did have a few things where if you played any of those games where you start in a little with nothing basically, and you go in from this camp and you start saving people, and they're like that they're in the middle or something that they tell you, we got this quest for you to go save this elder, and you go and save him. Then he starts like opening up different shops for you. So there's stuff like that, but it's not like a complete like crazy epic story. They did have a storyline, but like I said, it's just going hunting after the ultimate dragon, and then you finally jump online and realize that there's stronger dragons than that dragon.
Because that dragon at the end, like, took out the monster.
Yeah,
and
it
fought
didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, that was actually very cool. And other monsters too. The one that's why, exactly like you said, came in and fought like throughout the big battle. And it's all in like there's like 4 different locations during the fight because it ran off, and you go to.
That's what I was saying. It's
Yeah.
like it looks like it's opened up a lot more than for what I've seen in the past. So that's was pretty interesting to me.
You got trapped into the tree as well. With the leaves.
With the leaves things, and they just got trapped. You had to jump on the back. The one few things that I've seen that I've never seen was the what was it that
the grapple?
The grappling hook.
That was in the previous
never
games?
seen that. No.
I thought that was cool.
That was pretty awesome. The way that you get carried off back to camp 2 with it, pretty cool.
You said there's like a pterodactyl or something, right?
Yeah, that kind of like assists you basically.
So I don't know if I remember right, did you get kicked, you were on it, the monster's back, got kicked off it, used the grapple to bring it back?
Yeah,
on the back?
So he slammed against the wall. He basically kind of dazed you, but in the slamming, because he had all that armor for it, he basically attached right back to it to get back onto the mount, basically, to start striking. And they showed some really important stuff because cutting off of the tail is really important because that's where you get a lot of the good weapons and rare weapons and items. I don't know if that's a spoiler or not, but that's just a helpful tip for everybody. I mean, cutting off the tail.
It's ruined. It's ruined now.
Why? It's hard. It's not the easiest thing to do.
No.
Yeah. So, but, they didn't show like when you die. They didn't show the penalties. So I don't know if those are going to change at all.
What were they before?
Basically, if you're in the middle of a quest, just like you started that quest, and say you die in the middle, you get returned to camp. Like that little cat that's following you, he helps you return to camp, and then basically the bonuses drop, like the money bonus. So they start getting cut, and if you die 3 times, then you have to restart the quest altogether.
Are they timed as well in the previous? Because this one, it was timed. You have a certain amount of time where you have to kill
They're
the
timed,
monster.
but they give you enough time. It's lengthy.
Because in this demo, he had less than 5 minutes.
No, but it's like Capcom. It's for the score, and the higher the score, the better the loot.
Yeah. So that's what they did, but it's very. I don't know. I always found enough time to finish a monster. I normally never really died.
Aren't you fucking special?
No, well, you always had the 3. I always teamed up with people, which makes it a lot easier.
Oh, you got friends?
Yeah, that's
Fucking special. No, I agree.
Playing solo by myself.
No comment.
Yeah.
Just let that sit.
At least I can count.
To the Spanish, it doesn't count. Or I guess it does count, but it's not applicable.
Fuck you guys.
So what makes you so attracted to the Monster Hunter series?
You know, it was a good community. There wasn't a lot of when I was playing. There wasn't a lot of toxic players, for what I can say. Everybody was focused on teamwork. They would ask you what weapons are you going to use, what do you specialize in? Because there's weapons I did not like, and same with them. And if once they found out, like, oh, you guys can do a lot of good stuff, or if you're going to use 2 of the same weapons, then that communication was pretty awesome to me. It was mostly the co-op. That's what attracted me a lot, because from what I remember, there was no versus. It was all co-op, 4-player co-op. That's all.
I think that'd be a lot of fun. Just getting. What was the max that you set up to 4 players?
4 players, yeah.
That'd be fun to get 4 players, tackle down this.
Yeah. They all have different roles, though.
Yeah, everybody has a different role. Like what he was saying, there was one with the lance, the huge ass shield and lance, And what that weapon could do was keep that monster in check. So the monster would be like, you're poking me with this fucking lance. It's starting to get annoying. I'm going to focus on you. But he could take the damage because he has this huge fucking weapon. He wasn't fast at all. But while he's focused on them, I can go for the tail and go cut it off.
Yeah.
So everybody can loot off of it.
Yeah, the Lancer's like the tank. So.
Yeah.
You don't get annoyed when I poke you, right?
That. Who's counting?
I'm counting. Might not be accurate.
Pokes you for 2 hours.
Yeah.
23 minutes, asshole! It's in the deposition!
You're gonna have to ask Sarah about this.
Yeah. There was 4 times that I poked you for 23 minutes, which is over 2 hours of poking. That is correct. That is very accurate.
Is that what happened on your honeymoon with Sarah?
Yeah.
There's no way he lasted 23 minutes.
It didn't even last through the opening credits. The poking was done. Oh, crap. I saw the executive producer, and I just finished right there. The name, like, oh, Steven Spielberg. Oh, and that was it. And it said, executive producer. Transformers. Always gets me every time.
Wow.
Yeah, the Michael Bay is always the dessert. That's the... I get hard again. Because Transformers The Last Night was incredible. Correct, Rich?
Wait, that's when you guys saw it? It was last night?
Oh, no. We saw it.
Yeah, on my birthday we went to go see it.
Yeah.
Sorry, brother.
Yeah.
Is that what drove you to drink?
No, but it made sure I continued.
And that is our take for Monster Hunter World, the 23-minute gameplay video. We'll have more news. Again, Mo's very excited, if you cannot tell. I'm a little intrigued a bit. Again, I didn't know anything. Wanted to give it a chance, watch it. It might be something that'll go co-op. If you get on Xbox One. If you go co-op.
Heather and I are doing PS4.
I'll probably be there with you on PS4.
Right.
Yeah.
We can
Oh,
do-
joiner. I know you wanted that. Fucking liar.
Yeah.
Jesus. Like right to our faces.
Well, I wanted a friend to play with.
I'm not getting into your blog again. God damn it. You and your fucking Craigslist postings.
Just want a friend to play with, that's all. Just play with me.
Backpage.com/
Please let us know in the comments below what your thoughts and feelings were for the Monster Hunter World gameplay video. The Super Nintendo was just announced a few weeks ago. Coming
Nintendo
out.
Classic, you mean? Sorry.
Yes, the Super Nintendo Classic Edition. The Super Nintendo, a 16-bit console, just announced. Fuck you, 4K. 16-bit. Yes. The Super Nintendo Classic Edition
X.
was just announced.
Classic Edition X.
And,
Pro.
and Super Nintendo Classic Edition actually got discontinued as well on the same day it was announced. So sad. I'm going to wait in line for nothing. No, Super Nintendo Classic Edition announced for September 29th. It's going to have 21 games with Star Fox 2 for $80. It is not too early for us to come up with our Nintendo 64 Classic Edition.
I just love how you're already defending the
console.
segment before we even start. It's not too early. I don't want to read your comments. It's not too early.
It's never too early.
It's on the list. It counts.
It is never too early. Come up with our N64 Classic Edition console, where each of us are going to have 3 games that we would want to add. I know this was Mo's favorite console, was the N64. But the criteria is these 6 games are automatically in the console. It is Super Mario 64, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, Super Mario Kart 64, Super Smash Bros., which was the first one of the series, and Star Fox 64. So those 6 games get automatic buy into the N64 Classic Edition. So each will come up, we'll do a round robin, we'll each do 1 game, go around, but we'll each have 3 games, well maybe 3 games, we'll see. And I will go first. The first game that I would add to it, which is actually on the rare game they had, the 30 games, is Banjo-Kazooie, or Banjo-Tooie. It is...
You mean banjo?
What did I say?
Banjo?
Banjo?
Bon Jovi? What is wrong with you?
Bon Jovi is there tonight.
I want a deed or a leave.
I'm in my zone, man. I'm in my zone tonight, alright?
Whatever.
I brought my A game.
That's all right. Let's go back to Canada, eh?
Yeah, that's it. So, how do you pronounce that, Rich?
Banjo?
All right. So, banjo, right?
He's named after the fucking musical instrument. Like a banjo and a kazoo. He's
kazoo.
Banjo Kazooie.
I like Bon Jovi. So, Bon Jovi.
I liked him for the hair, obviously.
So, Banjo Kazooie and the sequel Tooie. Banjo Tooie is what it is. So, either
Bonjo
one.
Tooie.
Either
That was weird.
one.
For the second one, they actually called it Bonjo. It was weird.
See, I'm just ahead of my time, man. I was right on.
They didn't do that. I was just...
Dang it. So that would be my first game that I would add to the N64. But again, fuck licenses, because more than likely they probably won't allow it. But that's one of near and dear to my hearts for the N64 that I love. It was more like a Super Mario 64 ripoff. Go to certain worlds, collect musical notes, I believe, and then you get a certain amount for each level. Stars in Super Mario, I forgot what it was in Banjo. Yeah. But that would be my first game that I would add to the N64 Classic Edition. And Mo, what would be the game that you would?
The one of the very few that I've played, because I didn't own an N64, I wasn't in the N64 craze, would be Turok. That's one I did play through all the way. Had a friend let me borrow the 64, and that's the one that I would have gotten.
Yep.
So Turok, definitely. And it's
Turok,
been
Dinosaur
a
Hunter.
long time since anybody's heard or seen Turok at all. So,
Did you play the second one?
no.
And I believe there was a third one as well. I'm not sure.
There was, I remember the second one, but I didn't
I think there was a third one as well.
I didn't.
I think they changed the game engine and the playstyle or something.
They did, yeah.
So with Turok Dinosaur, did you think it was weird? Because on the 64 controller, you moved with the 4 yellow buttons on the top.
That was
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of using the joystick
Yeah.
that you would use, they used it on the 4 top right.
No, as strange as it sounds, I found it comfortable.
Oh, because you play computer.
Yeah.
PC has the controls.
Yeah, so
Then you're using that for aiming, and then this is moving forward momentum
So
kind of stuff.
I was already kind of like used to those controls.
Use the arrows and then use the mouse to fucking aim. So,
But yeah, Turok. That's one I want to see again.
And Richard, did you play Turok?
yeah.
I really.
But I
enjoyed-
was thrown by that too. That's not my style of play. So.
Yeah, it was weird. I remember when I first got my friend actually owned it. My best man Doug, he actually owned it, and I thought it was weird. It took me about a half hour to adjust, but after that, I was fine.
Yeah.
I never beat it. It was tough.
Yeah.
The one thing with the platforming, when you have to jump on screen, that was pain in the ass.
And we were still getting used to the view
Yeah.
from the 3D or the attempt at 3D.
Yeah. And the way they used like the console, they used the fog effect that you can't see too far ahead when you went closer. So they took advantage of that, of trying to hide some of the downfalls. But as a game, I thought it was fun. The idea, you were an Indian, right? A Native American,
Yeah.
and hunting down dinosaurs and
Yeah.
humans as well.
Yeah, and you had some really pretty crazy costume too. I enjoyed it. I mean, I thought it made sense for the
it's
world.
from the Valiant comic.
Yeah. So.
Actually led to them being bought out by Acclaim.
And then, so this is, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see the N64 controller. So instead of using the joystick in the middle Turok, you use these 4 buttons actually to move up, down, left, and right. And the save pack. Oh, we loved our save packs, right?
Oh, yeah,
Back in
I
the-
remember that.
I have about
I figured
6.
you'd have a Rumble pack in there.
I have a Rumble pack. I do.
I
Somewhere
couldn't
in
play
there.
with this controller. It's broken.
It's broken. All my controllers are broken now.
This fucking button sticking. No, you just need to clean it.
Well,
No,
I've
it works.
played and-
It works. You just need to clean it a little bit there.
Yeah, with the-
I'll take care of the cleaning.
with the 4 buttons with Turok. But I really enjoyed it. Although the codes, we all loved the codes back in the day with the big heads as well. That was very odd. And Rich, what would be your first game?
Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. Give me some Dash Rendar back in continuity. That'd be nice, but I don't think they would allow it, and I don't think that it would be counted if it was. So.
Counted
that
as canon or in
Well, because it's been removed with the Disney buyout and stuff. It's one of those, and he was obviously like a Han Solo ripoff because it's between Empire and Return of the Jedi. It's a side story, and he basically takes that smuggler type of role. He's got a very Millennium Falcon. The Outrider is a very Millennium Falcon looking ship, but still, it was a lot of fun.
And that was during the launch window. That was towards the beginning.
Well, and
of
that's
the
where they
N64.
really did what Disney and Marvel are doing right now with that IP. where all the comics count and the video games count and of course the movies and TV shows count. That's where they were really doing that, where Dark Horse was doing the comic, they had the game that came out, and then they were doing other books and stuff, and it all was in continuity for the expanded universe. But all that stuff counted. You got Prince Shizor and the Blue Sun and all that kind of stuff. That was all interesting elements that were introduced there. Is their big multimedia push of this is like a new Star Wars story that fits in the middle of what you already know. So you didn't have a bunch of characters you didn't know. So it was the precursor to KOTOR. So it proved that you could introduce new characters with a very similar conceit.
I actually loved Shadows of the Empire, and that actually led to Rogue Squadron, the first level on Hoth. I'm like, holy shit, how impressive that was. And they had the motorcycle, or the bike
Swoop bike, yeah.
The swoop bike. And I really loved Shadows of the Empire is towards the first few months of the N64 life. So that was great.
Holiday.
It was the holiday. And games were fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Back then, for fucking a cartridge.
Everything was selling out, too.
Yeah. The game was $900.
Stop it.
When it came out.
Dude, we apologize. It's off the cuff.
$900 for a fucking N64 game.
You've already seen how we do math tonight. It shouldn't be a shocker when we get to $900.
Wow.
That's all I'm saying.
You paid that too?
100. No. I believe the game was actually $80 was when it came out. I believe it was $80 when it was released. Could be $75, $80 for the game when it did originally actually come out. One of my favorite levels was the one with Boba Fett. Well, actually, you fight Boba Fett in there. There's a wide variety, but when you go back to it, it's very hard.
The graphics are really bad.
The camera was not very friendly on that, but absolutely, I would.
It's a good concept, though.
Welcome that game. This one I actually haven't played. I played the prequel. That was an Xbox 360 launch.
Perfect Dark.
Is Perfect Dark. I know everyone would want GoldenEye.
Actually on my list. That was next.
Okay, I stole the thunder. I know this game came after GoldenEye, but Perfect Dark, I played the first level, and it was at a friend's. I never owned it, but it was something that I would want to go back, and it had huge acclaim. I know it got great. It was probably one of the reviews that I read, one of the best N64 games. Was Perfect Dark. Did you play? Mm-hmm. How was it?
It was good.
It was good.
Yeah. It was kind of like it's not quite the same as GoldenEye. It was actually, it seemed like they had perfected it, but it was, since it was a new IP and stuff, and I think multiplayer worked better on GoldenEye, but in concept of how everything would run. And that's the first one where I remember where they started doing the extra media kind of stuff too, where it was new IP, where of course Star Wars, you knew they already had a book and comic book system built in, but this was where they started doing novels and stuff to expand that whole thing and explain how the corporations had taken over the world, and that's where I really got into it, was getting that whole story. So
I had to look it up. I completely forgot about that game actually, and I played probably like 2 hours of it at a friend's house, and I was really intrigued by it. So I never went through the whole campaign.
And then they remastered it on Xbox, Perfect Dark Zero. Or no,
didn't.
No, that was the prequel.
That was the prequel.
They did
launch.
No, it was on the arcade. That's where it was. They remastered it on the arcade because they bought it out Rare. That's what it was. My bad.
So I played it. I can't pronounce this word very well, so it's a quinceanera.
Quinceanera.
There we go. Thank you. I can't say it.
What's your background?
What is my nationality, my background? For some reason, I can't say that word. I was actually getting ready. I was in high school. I was getting ready for that. It was after, I believe it was after the friend that was a part of it. Mm-hmm. We went and he had it. And I played the first level. I loved that, like the gadgets. I did play Perfect Dark Zero on the 360. Did you play that?
I didn't.
I've never played a game that held your hand so much than Perfect Dark Zero.
It held your hand, like it walked you through everything.
Literally.
And it was a launch game for the
360.
Yeah,
it
360.
literally held your hand and showed you exactly where you need to go.
And it was the it was the last of the actual Rare that they had bought from Nintendo or from making games for Nintendo, and like it had really good pre-sale numbers, but then it dropped off drastically, and that was where they gutted that entire developer. Where they kept the name, they kept the IPs, but like everybody that worked there, or most everybody, that's when they got the axe, because of Perfect Dark Zero.
Yeah, the big launch game, and then it didn't do very well. But I got it on the launch.
Yeah.
I got 360. I got like, I heard great things about Perfect Dark, and this is their next thing that they need, Perfect Dark Zero. But the original Perfect Dark, I would add to it. Enmo, what would be your second?
Quest 64. Keep bringing that up. Quest 64 needs to... some sort of Quest needs to either be remade for the Switch, but I want to see Quest 64 so people can go back and actually replay a game that they missed out on, because that was a good action RPG. It wasn't turn-based, so you can go and relive that, because that was a great game for the 64 era.
That was a game that I rented, so I actually did rent. It's probably one of my save packs around here.
Yeah.
I don't remember getting too far over the weekend, but I did play that. And I wasn't too involved with RPGs. I was still young, so again, I never played any of the Final Fantasies. So I think that was one of my first RPGs that I played more.
A little bit of a
along
different
that
taste, especially for the 64, and especially it being an RPG. On those time frames, it had a kind of like a Mario kind of camera, but still action RPG,
Is it like a small little blue guy?
Yeah, with the blue hair and everything,
like
and the cane,
short?
and he can use the sword and stuff. Yeah, it's like a mixture of that. So, I think everybody needs to replay that
Quest 64
just to get into it. It's a good game. It was a good game.
And Rich already spilled the beans, but would be your
GoldenEye. And if they could remaster, because apparently hidden in the code, I'm not a hacker or anything, but apparently they had gotten the faces for all the different actors that had played through Brosnan, and they put them in as they were multiplayer skins, but they couldn't get the likeness rights for everybody, so it was in there, but it was never activated for the general release, because, Roger Moore or whoever didn't sign off, so you were stuck with just the Pierce Brosnan model, but that was where you really saw what consoles could do as far as multiplayer action shooter games.
I think that put multiplayer on the map for consoles.
Yeah.
Was GoldenEye. I know
PC was dying off at the time, so I'll be honest, that's where, when you look at what happened with Doom and Quake and everything, I think it's because you got enough people that were interested in what was going on with GoldenEye, and then when they saw the potential of how accurate you can be with all the stuff on a PC, I think that's where you started seeing that migration, where that kept PC around long enough. They then went through another drought where then we had digital distribution came through and Steam and stuff, and they finally got healthy where they are now. But you remember there was a time where whole walls were PC games, and then there was very little, and then it was like it expanded to half of what it used to be.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of like, well, they got two end caps kind of thing. But now it's one of those, who cares? Nobody goes to GameStop for PC shit anymore.
Yeah, I do remember that, seeing all the different walls, and then PC had two walls, all of a sudden it was condensed to one, then it was condensed to half a wall, then it was condensed to just a fucking corner.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, in Wyoming we had Hastings, and it was one of those, there was like the whole aisle or two, and then all of a sudden it was one aisle, then it was half of an aisle, just the one side. It was like a little section. It was like, well, we got educational, we got Microsoft Office, and whatever the new Windows release is. And then, look, there's two other games that just came out in the last 2 years, kind of thing. That was it.
And Age of Empires was always expensive. That's like I that's the one thing I remember is.
Was it $900?
It was.
Yes. But it only lasted 23
minutes.
And
that was the used copy.
My third game, I went back and forth. I might just cheat and add a fourth game anyways. But it's another game that I did not get a chance to play, but I think I would love. Donkey Kong 64. I played Donkey Kong Countries, all three of them, on the Super NES. This was towards the end of the N64. And I was around that age where I couldn't afford too many games for the N64. So I was around that age where I was, in 98, 99, so I was 14 or 15. So whatever leftover lunch money I had, I just saved up and bought a game, and my dad's like, where are you getting all this money from? I appreciate all the lunch money. But Star Fox 64 is more important than eating. So I never play. I do want to play Donkey Kong 64. I read reviews. I was watching videos about it. It might be on the virtual console. That I might, but it's a Nintendo property, so more likely they'll put that on the N64 Classic.
Yeah.
But it's more of my type of game, going out there using all the Kongs that you can use. But Donkey Kong 64. What about you, Mo?
Okay, so I'm gonna go out here on the stretch. I remember this for a particular friend's house where we used to get the 4 controllers and just beat the shit out of each other. And there was 2 games in particular, and I want to say there are 2 games, but I can't put them in separate categories because they had the same developer. It was WCW Nitro and also WWF No Mercy. Those games were fun as shit. 4 players just beating the shit out of each other, and I'm sorry to say,
You just stole his third game.
those are great games.
Yeah.
Like, they were so fun. Like couch co-op, and we were like yelling at each other. We do the 4-way rumbles and all that stuff. Even the Royal
No
Rumble.
Mercy had the best because not only was it created a wrestler, but you could finally go in and you could alter the existing wrestlers.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, like all my favorites were all members of DX for no reason. Like Taz is a member of DX out of nowhere.
Everyone
Like,
is DX.
I swerved this bitch. Everybody.
And I remember they had tables and ladders and stuff like that.
It's weird that those games could do that shit, and yet 2K whatever that they're doing all the time, they ain't done that shit since the Raw versus SmackDown time. Or not in a good way, because they're trying to be so realistic of a... I don't want to say fake because I'm a wrestling fan. That's kind of rude. But it's one of those... It's not a realistic fight. So do you need realism in a non-realistic fight?
Yeah, I mean... I think they overcomplicate it. Like, they just overburn it with a lot of shit that you don't...
Because I don't
really
think they
understand.
understand psychology because they have too much of that racing game kind of rubber band physics of, oh, my guy's going through and he hits a signature, then this guy has to hit a counter. Yeah. He didn't hit a counter the whole fucking match. He's ranked 30 points below me, but all of a sudden when I'm getting ready to hit him with the finisher, he counters and now he's got a taunt on me and now I've extended what should have been like a 1.5-minute match out to 7 minutes. And I might not have won. It's dumb.
I just remember the controls being simple and just being a fucking blast.
I get what you say about simple, but no, they made sense because it wasn't combo moves. It was grapple, and then do you want a strong grapple? You want a weak grapple? Do you want a left grapple? You want a right grapple? And of course, use like one of the other buttons to fucking do an Irish whip.
Yeah.
It made sense. Yeah. Everything had a purpose.
You could pick it up. A lot of fun.
You could pick it up. Now, you need to know how that stuff would sequence into other stuff. Mm-hmm. But that's where the combo kind of thinking went. But you could, if you knew how to play one character, you could figure out how to play all the others. Yeah. You didn't have to do this one is only based on this. You can't use any grapples on there. They're primarily a striker. This one's a luchador, so you have to do a bunch of jumps to the outside. Yeah. You could do that shit with everybody, but everybody had like weight restrictions and stuff that they don't have in the regular game.
And it wasn't like the greatest of graphics. It was just fucking fun. That's all it was.
Matter.
That was the first game I ever bought day one. Yeah. Was WWF Warzone, which was the very first N64 or was it Warzone or Attitude? I had the first and second one I had. That was the very first game I reserved and bought day one when it was released.
That's when THQ was just releasing those games. Like,
yeah,
it was just great. I enjoyed
Which
it.
one?
Before Ukes took over.
What did you choose out of the
between the two?
Was that your third game? That's what I was thinking.
WCW versus NWO Revenge is a better game.
That was some.
But as far as the customization options, No Mercy had them there. But as far as the game, like that story that they put in there and everything, and all the different options, and I think that there were more on the cartridge characters that were built by THQ. But when you got to No Mercy, you had, like 10 slots, and if you switched out your save packs, you could always add in another 10. So it was one of those. I remember, because you got the save pack, I had the one that had the slider switch on the back, because it switches the dip switch. So it was basically 4 save packs in one.
What?
So I would be able to just go, I'm on number 1, and then I go out of that screen, I flip it to number 2, I go back on that screen, shit,
that's
now
crazy.
here's all my other stuff.
Oh, I do remember that. It had like the button on the back too. Or
you slide it, and you have to reset it, and then you go back in.
Shit ton of space, because you would always run out of space on those damn things. I remember my friends.
So out of 4 in 1,
That's awesome.
The one thing I loved was that was the first time you can create your own pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I loved that. And you can simulate it, build another pay-per-view. I can make the best pay-per-view.
No, and No Mercy, you could fuck around with the entrances a little bit and
Yes.
stuff. And
Would that be your third game that you would add?
Oh, yeah.
It's a,
I was trying to end with the big flourish. But I was
there
like,
you go.
that's what I want. When a guy like me is not watching on a regular basis, I'm watching highlights. I'm not watching the shows. When I'm not buying
get
your
3
games
hours
and
of
stuff
time.
like that. Like, I'm a huge gamer, I'm a huge wrestling fan, and I'm not buying the game every year. And I'm the fucker that's looking for the best CAW version of Vampiro, on the Create a Wrestler on the internet kind of stuff. And I don't mean just in their menu. Like, I'm going online of who's got the best one, which one should I be searching for? And I'm going through Reddit posts and other websites that track all this shit. If I don't give a fuck to buy your game, you're obviously not doing it right. So that's why I get mad. It's because I want to give you my money. You're doing everything you can to make sure I don't.
Are you listening, Microsoft?
That's what I'm saying. It's not just them, because it's on the Switch now, too.
Whoa. Come on, man. It's on the Switch.
They made their own commercial
WWE,
that it's on the
it's
Switch.
on the Switch.
No, they had to do a separate commercial that it's on the Switch. That's how fucked up
Well, they have
that
to adjust
was.
the graphics a little bit, It's just a tad. Just a tad.
Wait, is that why Seth Rollins has just black hair now instead of the bleach streak? Is because they couldn't render it on the Switch?
Well, his dick's not getting any larger.
Wow.
You may have to bust that game out. We're probably going to have to beat each other's ass just on that game.
Dude, I have one.
Yeah, I'm saying. That's why.
Our love for wrestling, and Mo loves the wrestling games. Some fond memories. We brought out WCW NWO Revenge and WWF Warzone, which I believe was the first game. That was the first game I ever reserved and picked up day one. Was that game right there. So those are our games that we had. Mo, let's do a roundabout. So I'll do my 3, which I just realized, fuck the N64 Classic Edition. I'm just going to go buy the rare.
Already out.
The rare that's already out.
Been out
Obviously,
for like 5 years.
yeah, the games that I want, Perfect Dark and Banjo-Kazooie, or Tooie. Banjo is, I'll just buy the rare and I'll just play those games, obviously. But, so I wanted Banjo-Kazooie, Perfect Dark, Donkey Kong 64. My 4th game that I wanted was Rogue Squadron. I know it was Shadow's Empire, Star Wars, Rogue Squadron. And Mo, what were your 3 games?
Turok, Quest 64, and I would like to see these wrestling games on there just because of the replay value of, couch co-op. That's what it was for me. So, yeah.
And Rich.
Shadows of the Empire, GoldenEye, and No Mercy.
All right, and those are our list of... So 15 games plus the 6 that were automatically in our 15 games that would be in our N64 Classic Edition, which will retail more than likely for 100 or even more. We'll see how much when it's announced.
Sell for 64. How do they not see this?
For $64.
It's right there.
And call it the Ultra 64. The original name what it was supposed to be.
$64.99.
No, not 99 cents. Just 64.
It's a 64.
It's $4 even. Stop trying to get an extra $1, Mo.
$63.99.
Greedy bastard.
No, because that's not a 64.
Greedy bastard.
That's 63.
Taxes will put it up to 60.
Taxes will put it at like 68,
There.
depending on which state you're in.
Taxes. When I get the Xbox One X, those taxes are gonna fucking piss me off. Did it for the Xbox One.
Not as much as the system itself will piss you off.
Yeah. Fucking 4K. This looks like shit. This ain't 4K. It's 360.
This looks like 3.7K.
Yeah.
Refund.
Fuck
Too bad I already traded mine in just so I can get a controller. It's the most expensive replacement controller I've ever bought.
Man, you're the worst type of... I'm not gonna say it. Damn, fanboy. I'm joking. Jesus.
Please let us know in the comments below what games you would add to your Nintendo 64 Classic Edition console. And we are at the end of our Gamescast, and this is where we go balls deep. This is where we let you know what games we'll be playing all week long. And Mo, which games will you be playing this week, or have been playing the last 2 weeks? We had some time off.
I actually finished The Walking Dead, the New Frontier. I like the direction of the story, but I felt it was so short.
Well, each episodes, though, right?
There was
Episodes
there was 5 episodes, but I bought the season pass for
Oh, okay.
for $5. So
damn.
it was on sale for when the E3 sale went on. So I finally got around to playing it, and I finished all five of the storyline episodes that they put out there. But I thought they were incredibly shorter than the the first season one with Lee, and season 2 as you start going with Clementine and stuff. I don't know. I felt like there could have been some more to that storyline, or longer. It felt just really short. It went really fast on it. It was kind of crazy.
So you finished the 5 chapters?
Yeah, I finished all 5. It was, like I said, I wish it was longer. It just, I felt like I needed more, and hopefully they incorporate that in the 4th season, because they did have a lead off saying that there's going to be more. So we'll see how that goes. Also, finally chose the girlfriend on Persona 5, so I jumped back on Persona 5. I chose the smart girl.
It took you how long to decide that?
There was too many. I didn't want to rush it.
Too many women to choose from?
Yes, and I'm a picky bitch, so...
That's a compliment to you, Heather.
Yeah.
No,
She had to be perfect.
she is perfect.
And kick ass.
And animated.
And animated.
No, I mean because she's so active. I'm talking about Heather, not the girl in Persona.
I give her 23 minutes of my time.
Which feels like it's over 2 hours. So.
It's over. Yeah.
Doing some damage,
We're
my
doing
friend.
segments, but...
Yeah, slam it.
A lot of Titanfall 2. Believe it or not, I cannot get off that damn game. The game has me stuck. Man, the free
Yeah, 'cause
DLC
there's no
updates.
other people with you.
Oh, there's a shit ton of people, man. Shit ton. I think it's just, I don't know. I'm addicted to that game. I have fun playing it online with the 5 versus or 6 versus 6 Titans or whatever. I have a blast when when you get on a good team, and I can't put it down. Heather watches me play, and she sees me do some crazy tricks now that I've learned from other players. I'm getting excitement out of it. Yeah, I appreciate all the free DLCs
Free
too.
DLC and packs.
Yeah, so no complaints. No complaints.
So you'd be playing Titanfall?
Yeah, I'm gonna finish Persona probably by the end of this week. Finally.
Yeah, like 90 hours last time you
Yeah.
Persona?
Yeah. So Persona 5 should be finished by the end of this week. And the other thing that's taking my time is I'm starting to read a lot of comics. I'm getting back into the comic world just to kind of catch up on what's going on in the Marvel Universe.
I think you've been hanging out with Rich too long.
He told me some stories, and I was like, oh shit, I need to go read those. So
Rich and Mo at the bar, getting you into some kind.
And that's when he starts telling me about these great stories. I'm like, fuck, I'm missing out, And it's crazy because I have them stashed. I just need to put some time into them
That's
too.
the way it is. Yeah.
So, but yeah, doing that. So,
Rich might have some websites for you to check out. For comic, that's what you use, or?
He likes physical copies.
I
I'm a digital
do
guy.
physical.
Oh,
copies.
you're physical.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to keep it physical.
You like to keep it physical.
23 minutes of physical copies.
Let's get physical. Let's get physical. Physical. No. I was serenading you.
What the fuck?
I'm getting. Let's get physical.
I do want to jump into Watch Dogs 2.
Although
You're
it's
probably ahead of me right now, so we'll see.
Well, the new DLC was only multiplayer stuff, so you're not that far behind.
Oh, okay.
Other than the little skins and stuff that I did for July 4th.
Once I do the finishing of Persona, I'll definitely be jumping between more Horizon and Watch Dogs 2.
You need to get caught up on Horizon.
Yeah.
Do you remember what level you're on Horizon? Your character?
I'm a level 28.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, level 28. And I popped it in yesterday just to do. I did one of the fortresses, one of the what are they called?
Bandit camps.
Bandit camps.
Yeah.
So I did one of those, and I got my ass kicked for the first time because I forgot the goddamn controls.
Yeah.
But getting back into it, so yeah.
You cannot go gun blazes.
No.
Yeah,
No.
you will fucking die quickly.
Yeah, they're assholes.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna have an entire segment of Balls Deep just for Mo's games that he's playing. But and Rich, what would you be playing, or what have you been playing?
I got a little distracted because there's a lot of other done WWE wrestling content on, like the Ring of Honor pay-per-view where Cody, the American Nightmare, won the Ring of Honor title, and the G1 US special. It was a 2-night thing where Kenny Omega won the US title. Congrats, Bullet Club.
There's a U.S. title?
There is now.
Oh.
Like I said, you got to pay attention now.
I paid to AJ Styles as my U.S. champion.
Yeah, Bullet Club
Nice.
for life. So I got a little distracted with that. Sub-Zero came out in
Injustice?
Injustice 2 today, so I tried him out. I got him only on like level 4 right now.
Is he free or do you
DLC,
have
yeah.
free DLC?
No.
No. Yeah, it's paid DLC.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I got the
season
whatever,
pass?
yeah, with the season pass.
Okay.
The gold edition or whatever. So
And you really need to jump on that too, and I've just been slacking.
You jump on everything.
yeah, I think I'm gonna have to change my guild. We kind of slowed down. They're not contributing like they were. We kind of stalled at
You
67.
bastards.
67 trophies. I'm not getting my guild boxes anymore. So or rarely.
So Injustice. Waiting for the August release of Agents of Mayhem. Just waiting patiently. I played a lot of Horizon. So I am level 36.
Okay.
38 hours in. 38 hours in, level 36. I'm on the last main quest. I stopped and I'm clearing out my quest log. I'm doing the side quests, the errands, the cauldrons, corrupted areas. That's where I probably leveled up the fastest was the corrupted areas. Like I was doing like level 32, level 30, because you kill all those main, the huge Dinobots.
Yeah.
So you get that experience, plus you get experience for clearing out the corrupted area. What the corrupted area is, it's Dinobots. They're red, so they're like corrupted, so they're fucking crazy. And you have to clear out entire space. It's like a circle on the map. Clear out entire area.
The rest could be there because it's like a terraforming thing, right?
Yeah, and then you get experience.
Yeah, sorry, I
points.
watched the video. I kind of know the whole story now.
I think I only have 1 or 2 corrupted areas that I can find on the map that's left. I have 11 of them completed, but I only have 1 cauldron, so I need to do more of those. Once you defeat one of the cauldrons, you can then take control of more of the Dinobots.
As far as the side quests, that's where you're at. They did not feel repetitive to you, did they?
They did not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I really enjoyed.
And they're scattered throughout the land. They didn't. The errands, I have a few of the errands left to do, so I'm gonna take care of those because the last mission is level 34. But I'm 36 now. But I wanna. The max cap is level 50. They did the new game plus though. That just came out.
Yeah, that was the free add-on. Update.
So ultra hard mode is what they added, and you can go back to the beginning of the game with your full gear and level.
Oh, okay.
Is what I read. I'm not sure, but I thought I read that. Mm-hmm. Where you can go back to the beginning, but you can still max out. The cap is level 50, so you can't go above the 50. But you can go back with your gear and start the game.
Hey, fucking Nintendo. Take a couple fucking notes, huh? On that Zelda shit DLC that you're trying to sell? Look what Horizon's doing. Free update. Huh?
With hard mode.
With hard mode. Fucking in the game.
No, but I like the silver BMW you got in Legend of Zelda. That was awesome.
I love Horizon. I love the game. In 38 hours, I'm probably going to put 45 to 50 once I get all the side quests and the last level. I'll be ready for the DLC. That'll probably be the first DLC that I will probably buy day one because I want more of it. Towards the end, I love the story, how you slowly progress and get more of the story of the entire world, of what's happened and what the humans' plan was.
Yeah, I'm starting to get into those aspects too.
What Horizon Zero Dawn really
don't want to spoil that.
or Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
Where it came up with the name. It explained what that was all about, and again what the humans should know. Yeah.
Oh, you were saving it for them, weren't you?
Saving it for them. Yeah. No spoilers.
It's
you
great.
Can just read it online.
It's great storytelling. That's all I can say. I mean, it's just they really went all out on the story and also the side questing and so forth. It doesn't feel repetitive. A few things do, but not the side quests in general. That's what I wanted to hear from your side.
And I love the side quests where you actually find other Dinobots that you haven't seen before.
Yeah.
And it's the only time you get to see them. They're not on the main quest. A few of them are, but you have to really try and find them. Like the huge bird and the rock breaker, I believe what it's called, that comes out from the ground.
Yeah.
The big fucking bird from the sky is each have its own side quests. And then one is a corrupted zone with 2 of those rock breakers. And I'm a little bitch. I fight from the distance and just shoot arrows at them.
You have to outsmart the enemy. That's
No.
how it works.
So it takes a little bit longer. But I'll be playing Horizon, ready for Splatoon 2 in a few weeks, and get caught up in my backlog until the Xbox One X takes about 10 minutes of my time, and I return it when I find out 4K is overrated. So we'll see. Those are the games we'll be playing all week long, and for the next few months. Injustice 2. I'm playing a lot, getting the guild, and Mo, he'll get caught up someday with all his backlog. That's the end of our episode. Thank you very much for watching, and everyone have a wonderful week.